everyone, it's Tiny here. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Strawberry Lifts, and if you're new, make sure to click subscribe down there for more content from me. Today we will be talking about water loading and water cutting for a weight class related competition. First of all, what is a water cut? It basically happens over a period of 5 to 10 days, depending on what method you use. It is a period when you load water and then you cut it out of your days and diet so that you drop weight in a really short time. It is a temporary solution. It is only a weight drop, not fat drop. So it does not contribute to fat loss whatsoever. Do not think that dehydrating yourself is the solution. But basically a water cut is just dehydrating your body as much as you can so that you make weight at a weight class related competition, be it powerlifting, Olympic lifting, MMA fights, boxing, etc, etc. During a water cut, people usually have 3 components that they manipulate. I manipulated personally these 3 components. One of them is water, obviously. The other one is salt, and the third one is carbs. The third one is kind of tricky because it varies from person to person, and it depends on whether you have a 24 or 2-hour weigh-in. But I will talk to you guys about what I did with my 2-hour weigh-in. I lifted on a Sunday and I started my water cut on a Tuesday, which is quite late, but I didn't have to really drop that much. I was in under 72 kilos weight class, and I weighed like 73 point something. Yeah, 73 point something in the beginning of the week, which is totally fine. Like, weight does not define me. I don't like to share my weight only because I feel like it is not something that really defines my progress, but here you go. I weighed 73 plus kilos in the beginning of the week of my meet. So I decided to go ahead with a water cut. The first thing I manipulated was water. Obviously, it's the easiest thing to manipulate. So because I didn't have that much time, some people did like a 10-day water cut. I just didn't have that much time, nor did I want to put in too much energy because I only needed to drop like, what, 1 kilo? A water cut usually starts with a water loading period when you get your body used to getting a lot of water. So I usually drink around like 3-4 liters of water per day, but now I upped it to 6+ liters of water. So what I did is that I upped my water intake from Tuesday till Friday to 6+ liters of water, and then I dropped my water to 2 liters on Saturday, the day before the meet, and I stopped drinking 12 hours out from weigh-ins. What this did was basically it got my body used to having a lot of water on hand, so my body did not retain that much water. And I was just running to the toilet all the time because it was flushing through me. What the water loading period did basically helped my body get used to, you know, just circulating water. What went in came out. My body didn't store anything by Friday. So when I dropped my water to 2 liters on Saturday, my body was still in that period, like that mindset of, you know, flushing everything out because it thought that it would get more, but it didn't. And by stopping water intake 12 hours before my weigh-in, I basically just contributed more to this water loss period. The second thing that I manipulated was salt. Salt helps your body retain water. So what I did for my water cut is that I temporarily increased my sodium intake, which meant eating a shit ton of salt. And this promoted temporary water retention. It really helped grab onto some water that I was drinking. So in the beginning of my water loading period, because I was eating so much salt, I experienced some weight gain, which is totally fine. Don't worry about that. You're gonna pee everything out. And because salt causes temporary water retention, your body will start dealing with that water retention, and it will flush out even more things while you're eating really high sodium amounts. And then what you want to do is drop sodium around like 2-3 days out from your weigh-in, which, because your body is in gear to, you know, just flush everything out and not let you retain water, it will just flush everything out just the way it did while you were eating a lot of salt. So what I did is that I dropped my salt intake 2 days before my meet, and it was weird not to put extra salt on my food after the first 3 days of eating really salty food. Like, I deliberately had to add in extra salt in order to meet the salt requirements for my water cut. So basically what I did is that I dropped salt. Like, I totally did not add anything else to my food. I did not choose not salty foods deliberately, but I was eating the same foods on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday just to make sure that I had everything, like I ate everything I needed, and I ate not too many carbs, which I will come back to later. But what I did is that first day, on Thursday of eating low carb, I added in a lot of salt, and then on Friday and Saturday, I just didn't add any salt, and it was fine. So you can manipulate salt even further. I just didn't want to, because that would have been a shit ton of effort. And then the third thing that I did manipulate was carbs. I had to be extra cautious with that because I am on bodybuilding prep, so I have my macros set that I need to follow. I basically reassigned my missed carbs to Sunday on my meat day because I obviously needed to eat that much carbs because prep. But the reason why carb manipulation works that well is because when you're water cutting, you basically want to release all the water from your body. Because glycogen is stored in your muscles, 1 gram of glycogen stored equals 4 grams of water stored in your muscles. So by reducing the carbs that you take in, you're basically losing a lot of water from your muscles too, which is amazing. It helps you drop weight. It's not amazing when you don't rehydrate properly on meat day and you start cramping up because you don't have enough salt, glycogen, and water in your body, but I will come back to that later. I had high carb days on Monday and Tuesday, 6 days away from the meet when I was still training. Then on Wednesday, I had a low carb day, which was still about 175 grams of carb, I think. And then I just, like 3 days out, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I dropped my carbs to 50 grams. It is really low, I know, it's not fit for everyone, it is miserable sometimes. But if you really want to make this water cut work, why not do it? So I was basically eating trace amount of carbs. I made sure that I prepped the same foods for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And as I said before, I added extra salt to my Thursday food because I did not want to drop salt too soon. And because you dehydrate your body this much, it is not healthy, guys. Not healthy. You're not losing fat by dehydrating yourself, so don't do it if you don't necessarily need to. It is not healthy. Like, I can't stress this enough. It's not healthy to drink 6 liters of water and drop your salt intake and your carb intake too. It is not okay for a long time. Temporarily, it is fine if you make sure that you do it smart and you rehydrate right after you weigh in and you make it quick and you recover fast. Because if not, you're gonna start cramping up and your body is going to start acting out, and you really do not want that. Please be really careful with this, because this is really dangerous if not done properly. Please do think while you're doing this. Let's talk about meat day and how I recovered from this dehydrated, like extreme dehydrated period. On the day of weigh-ins, I woke up and I measured myself on the scale. I dropped around 2.5-3 kilos. I weighed myself at 70.8 kilos, which was great. on my weigh-ins about like an hour later, I weighed 70.115. So I did drop some weight in between that period of time. And I even had a Red Bull. Right after weighing in, I downed a bottle of Lucozade. That contains easily and quickly absorbing carbs and electrolytes. And then right after I had Lucozade, I had half a liter of rehydration drinks. Rehydration drinks help replenish your mineral stores. They contain a lot of minerals that might get flushed out and vitamins that might get flushed out. Also, right after I had those, I had some really salty food. My food of choice was vegetarian bacon slices from Quorn. I added some extra salt, and then I had some oats with protein powder that I prepared for myself. And from that on, I think every hour or every 2 hours, I had around like 100 grams of carbs. For that day, I managed to reassign 595 grams of carbs. So that was enough to replenish my glycogen stores in my body. And I drank around a liter of water in the hour, 1.5 hours right after weigh-in, and then I continued drinking, and I had around 3 to 4 liters of water that day, basically to get myself back to functioning properly. Coconut water is a great way to replenish electrolytes too. It helped a lot. Like, I literally downed a liter of coconut water in the 3rd hour, like after I was done with squats, and I consumed a lot of salt that day. So what you need to do after you've dehydrated yourself is that you take in a lot of minerals, you drink a lot of fluids, or just the normal amount that you would drink, like 3 to 4 liters. You eat stuff that is full of carbs, you drink stuff that has a lot of electrolytes, just so that your body doesn't go into this shock and starts cramping. So obviously, because this is a temporary solution so you can hit weight and get into a weight class that you want to get into, you will gain back the weight in no time. Like, trust me, I literally, like, it was the funniest thing. When I weighed in at 70.15, I went home like after the day of the meet, and I weighed myself, and I was back at 72.8. So yeah, just don't expect this to last. It does not last, and I'm only talking about this because I want you to know about what I did, and I kind of want to share. So this is how I did it. If you have any question, make sure to leave a comment with them in the comment section below, and I will make sure to include some informational links in the description bar just down there. And if you've enjoyed this video and you found this video really helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're still not subscribed to my channel, make sure to click subscribe. I hope that you learned something today, and I guess I will see you guys soon. Bye.